Imagine a nation, a concept, a powerhouse of human ingenuity that has for centuries pushed the boundaries of what's possible. From the quiet intellectual halls of Heidelberg, a name synonymous with global brand and academic excellence, sprung minds that reshaped our understanding of the universe, of the human psyche, of art and philosophy. Think of Einstein, his theories echoing across the cosmos, Sigmund Freud, delving into the unseen depths of our minds, Nietzsche challenging the very foundations of thought. Long before the world fully grasped the concept of widespread education, German writers were already adorned with Nobel Prizes, their words illuminating the path forward. This wasn't just a land of abstract thought, it was a crucible of practical innovation. The world wears contact lenses because of German minds, reads thanks to the printing press born here, sees the unseen with X-rays, travels on diesel and jet engines, preserves food with refrigerators, watches television, comprehends the microscopic with electron microscopes, and survives crashes with airbags. The very fabric of modern life is interwoven with German inventions. Their students, even in the 19th century, were earning advanced degrees, while much of the globe was still catching up to basic literacy. And then, this brilliant, meticulously ordered, technically advanced nation, this beacon of human progress, fell. It fell into the grip of a single individual, a psychopathic soldier who didn't just shatter Germany, but plunged the entire world into an abyss of chaos. 80 million lives extinguished, a global conflagration sparked by one man's twisted vision. The country, once whole, was torn in two, a physical manifestation of a spiritual wound. A decade after the war, the echoes of devastation were so profound that women struggled to find men to marry, a generation decimated. The astonishing truth? The same nation that until 1944 had blindly followed this man, sacrificing everything, every last resource, every last life for his cause, by 1945, considered him a disgrace. His name became a stain, a source of profound shame. Today, Germans do not name their children after him. His very mention can turn faces crimson. And the chasm between these two mindsets? Just 2 years. The speed and depth of this transformation from fervent allegiance to utter repudiation is nothing short of astonishing. Today, wherever a German travels, the question, unspoken or direct, hangs in the air. If you were so wise, so intelligent, how could you have blindly followed a madman? We will unravel this profound mystery. Welcome to Germany, or as it's known in its own tongue, Deutschland, in Arabic, Almania. A nation reborn, forged in the crucible of its own history. Germany sprawls across 357,022 square kilometers, making it Europe's 7th largest country. But its influence far outweighs its geographical footprint. After Russia, it is Europe's 2nd most populous nation, home to over 84 million souls. German is the language that shapes its thoughts, its laws, its culture. And everywhere you turn, you encounter a masterpiece of discipline, a quiet dignity, a profound humility. Here, arrogance finds no home. Harsh tones are rarely heard. Punctuality is not merely a virtue, it is an intrinsic part of the German pulse. Offices open precisely when stated. Tardiness is quite simply unthinkable. Their approach to life is elegantly simple, their diet unpretentious. They order only what they can consume, driven by a deep-seated belief that money is a public trust, not to be squandered. Should a fever strike, the simple comfort of ice cream might be the chosen remedy. Germans live in modest homes, taking pride in cleaning their own spaces. You won't find ostentatious displays of luxury cars here, no desire to incite feelings of inferiority in neighbors. The privilege of driving is earned through rigorous, expensive licensing. Children are not allowed in the front seat, a rule enforced by fines. In traffic, an almost eerie silence reigns, no blaring horns. Even during construction, the air remains remarkably free of intrusive noise. On trains, no ticket checker, no physical barrier to entry. Yet traveling without a ticket is simply inconceivable. Trains and buses run with an almost supernatural precision, never late. this nation champions sustainability with an almost religious fervor. The government procures solar electricity at premium rates, then sells it cheaply at night, a testament to long-term vision. Imagine 710 out of every 1,000 Germans commute by bicycle. In some regions, the cycle of day and night itself shifts dramatically, with darkness lasting only 3 hours and daylight stretching for 21. For instance, the dawn prayer, Fajr, might be observed at 2:34 a.m. and the evening prayer, Isha, as late as 11:28 p.m. Privacy is a sacred trust. The pervasive culture of selfies is often met with disapproval. Many public spaces bear clear markings on cameras, indicating that casual photography is not welcomed. People here prefer the tangible touch of books and newspapers over the fleeting gaze of social media. And education, education here is both astonishing and deeply engaging. It is, for the most part, free or nearly free. On their very first day of school, children are presented with a Scholltüte, a cone filled with candies, a delightful ritual designed to infuse the act of learning with joy from the very beginning. Students are empowered to choose their own subjects and schedule, fostering a sense of ownership over their academic journey. From the 9th grade onward, practical skills from construction to various trades are woven into the curriculum. After high school, it's common for students to embark on a gap year of travel, broadening their horizons before resuming their studies. University life often involves 6 months of intense study, followed by 6 months of vacation, a rhythm that encourages both deep learning and personal exploration. Companies actively offer part-time jobs, recognizing the value of practical experience. The business ecosystem is designed to nurture growth. No enterprise is permitted to simply collapse. Berlin, the beating heart of Germany, stands as its capital and largest city. Once brutally bisected by a wall, its very existence embodies Germany's complex narrative. The story of modern Germany is inextricably linked to a man born in Austria, a soldier who joined the German army in 1913, rose to lead the Nazi Party, and was sworn in as Chancellor on January 30, 1933. He declared himself Führer, filling German minds with the toxic belief that they were the world's superior race. He scapegoated Jews and communists for all of society's ills, creating the SS forces, a brutal instrument to enforce his horrific vision. Fascism, a word that echoes with chilling resonance, describes a state where an individual becomes so utterly consumed by racism that they dehumanize and degrade others. Under this monstrous ideology in 1939, he unleashed his forces upon Poland, igniting a war that raged across continents until April 30th, 1945, when he met his end by suicide alongside Eva Braun in a bunker in Berlin. Germany was left utterly decimated, 80 million lives extinguished globally. Inflation soared, poverty gnawed at the fabric of society. People carried sacks of money just to buy a kilo of onions. Every second man was either dead or severely injured. Women far outnumbered men, a stark demographic imbalance. The victorious powers carved Germany into pieces. The East, under the dominion of the Soviet Union, the West, shared by the US, UK, and France. East Berlin became the capital of East Germany. People desperate for freedom and opportunity fled from east to west. To stem this devastating brain drain, in August 1961, East Germany, in chilling secrecy, erected the Berlin Wall. Meanwhile, in West Germany, a profound period of introspection began. How could a nation of such intelligence have been so utterly misled by a half-mad soldier? They acted decisively. Military uniforms were banned. Army barracks, once symbols of war, were transformed into colleges, nurturing minds, not weapons. West Germany shifted its capital to Bonn, a symbolic break from the tainted past, and embarked on what became known as the Wirtschaftswunder, the economic miracle. They sought loans and workers. Pakistan, surprisingly, offered the loan but declined to send labor. Germany then turned to Turkey, and Turkish workers, seeking a new life, settled in cities like Berlin, Munich, Cologne, and Frankfurt, becoming an integral part of the nation's resurgence. Germans, with an almost unbelievable dedication, pledged to work overtime for their devastated country. After dinner, they returned to the factories, working unpaid until midnight, fueled by a collective will to rebuild. This selfless effort not only boosted productivity, but honed their skills, creating a virtuous cycle of improvement. Factory owners reinvested profits into new factories, generating more jobs, feeding more families, strengthening the nation from its core. They understood with profound clarity, whether I profit or my employer, Germany benefits. This shared vision fueled an explosion of small and mid-sized companies, reaching an astonishing 999,000, employing 70% of the nation's workforce. Giants like Bosch, Siemens, Webasto, Wilo emerged, known as hidden champions, global leaders born from this era of dedication and innovation. By 1987, the world watched as U.S. President Ronald Reagan stood before the Berlin Wall, issuing his iconic challenge to Gorbachev, "Tear down this wall." And on November 9, 1989, the people themselves, with an indomitable spirit, took matters into their own hands, dismantling the concrete barrier. East Germans, emerging from decades of isolation, were stunned by the progress their Western counterparts had achieved. By October 3, 1990, Germany was reunited, a nation made whole again. This reunification laid a crucial cornerstone for the future of Europe, paving the way for the European Union. Berlin, once again, reclaimed its rightful place as the capital. West Germans, with a spirit of investment and solidarity, poured resources into the East, buying property, establishing businesses, and fostering prosperity. Germany today stands as a true welfare state. For each child, the government provides €50 monthly, a direct investment in the future generation. There's a powerful anecdote that speaks volumes about their commitment to care. An Afghan asylum-seeking family with a special needs child was given 3 options by the German government. Either place the child in a specialized care center, appoint a dedicated nurse for home care, or pay the mother the nurse's salary to care for her child. The mother chose the third option, but instead of using the funds for her child's care, she began sending the money back to Afghanistan. Officials, noticing the child's untrimmed nails, issued a stern warning. When the situation remained unchanged, the child was moved to a care center, a testament to the uncompromising standards of care. Customer trust is paramount. Products can be returned within 14 days, and most stores, driven by a culture of customer satisfaction, accept returns even beyond this period without complaint. In an almost unbelievable example of meticulous honesty, a man once overpaid by a mere 2 cents and received an email refund for the exact amount. These seemingly tiny incidents, a refund for 2 cents, speak volumes. They build an unwavering trust in justice and honesty, illustrating the profound difference, sometimes measured in mere pennies, between developed and developing nations. Angela Merkel, Germany's first female chancellor, epitomized a new era of leadership, serving for 16 transformative years. She worked 20 hours a day, her dedication unwavering, her personal style consistent. She wore the same modest style of clothes and even laughed good-naturedly at fashion jokes. Her husband, throughout her tenure, remained a professor, never seeking to leverage her political power for personal gain. And in a truly astonishing act, Merkel retired voluntarily after 16 years, stepping down from the pinnacle of power, an almost unheard-of phenomenon in global politics. I began to read, to research, to ask myself, who are these people? Islam, my faith, taught us honesty, sincerity, and hard work. Yet these people in their everyday lives seem to embody these very virtues more profoundly than many. Merkel herself once recounted how she sought permission from her neighbor before using her washing machine at night, out of concern it might disturb their sleep. Such a small act, yet so indicative of a deep-seated respect for others. Germany is rightly called Europe's economic engine. Berlin, with its serene river transport, is a city steeped in history, boasting UNESCO heritage sites and iconic landmarks like the Brandenburg Gate, the towering TV tower, and the poignant Berlin Wall Memorial. Hamburg, Germany's second-largest port city, hums with maritime trade. Cologne is renowned for its vibrant carnival festivals, a burst of color and joy. Frankfurt stands as the nation's financial capital, home to the European Central Bank, a nexus of global finance. Munich, the third-largest city, boasts some of the lowest crime and poverty rates, a testament to its well-being. For those seeking to make Germany their home, education and job seeker visas offer accessible pathways. Education, as we discussed, is largely free. Digital nomad visas are also available, provided you meet certain income requirements. Germany is a renter's society, with rent typically ranging from 11 to 20 euros per square meter. A unique aspect of renting here is the expectation for tenants to repaint their homes before vacating. Sundays are a day of cherished rest. You won't hear lawnmowers or the clang of cleaning. Halal food is readily available, a testament to the diverse population, which includes around 5.5 million Muslims, predominantly of Turkish origin, and around 3,000 mosques dotting the landscape. But like any nation, Germany is not without its complexities, its areas of ongoing debate. It stands as a prominent advocate for LGBT rights. In 2023, of the 36,100 marriages registered, a significant 9,000 were same-gender unions. In some schools, children are educated about LGBT issues, and if parents protest on religious grounds, in some extreme cases, their children can be placed into care. In 8 of Germany's 16 states, headscarves are banned in schools, creating a tension between religious freedom and secular principles. Muslims, like other minority groups, can sometimes face instances of racism, and modest dress can encounter restrictions, while paradoxically, nudity is tolerated in certain contexts. In some official processes, recognition of Israel is a requirement. Beyond these points, German culture holds unique traditions. When a girl is born, families often plant trees, a beautiful symbol of growth in life. Girls typically move out of their family homes earlier than boys. Germans are deeply passionate about sports, especially football. The German Football League ranks among the top 5 globally, and the national team has lifted the World Cup trophy 4 times, a source of immense national pride. This is Germany, a nation of profound contradictions and remarkable resilience. A land where history's darkest chapters stand in stark contrast to a present defined by discipline, innovation, and a quiet, profound dedication to rebuilding, learning, and leading. A journey through Germany is a journey through time, a lesson in human spirit, and a glimpse into a future shaped by the lessons of the past.